Hello everybody, Joe McCall from Borowski Race Engines here with John McGhee at Cutaway Racing. Before we get too deep into this, if the audio isn't working for you, please let us know and we'll try and get it squared away. So, yeah, all good? We'll
I think we're
get
good.
rocking and rolling. So, I guess, yeah, John, we've been working together for about, what, 2 years now, 3 years?
I think a little over 3, yeah.
Right.
Right at a little over 3 years.
Yeah, so I guess your thing is building cars, and of course we're building engines. If you could tell people, what kind of cars do you build?
Mainly our specialty is late model GM, so Corvettes, Camaros, CTSVs, that kind of thing, but we're also really into the restomods, so your older GMs. I mean, we don't really care who made it, but we're really into building cool restomods with awesome engine transplants, good suspension parts, all that. We do a lot of drag racing, do some road racing. Our shop's actually located next to a huge road race facility in West Virginia, so we've been more and more into road racing now, and you guys have been building some awesome road race engines that last and don't die on the first session, which is nice.
That's always a plus.
Yeah, we're not filling catch cans up and having to pull over with fires, and yeah, it's been really good. It's been awesome. Mm-hmm. We have no complaints.
Now, I think you and your clientele fit really well with what we do because we're both targeting the higher end of the market.
Correct. Yeah. We're not building stock bottom end 5.3 cars and blowing them up just to see what happens. We're not doing that.
Yeah. So I guess you moved fairly recently, essentially across the line, the state line.
Right. Yeah.
But how long were you in Maryland before moving?
We were in Virginia before, so we were in Northern Virginia in Fairfax.
Okay.
For forever. And then when the automotive started getting a lot more serious, we needed a lot more space. So that's when we started looking west. We were kind of tired of being in the city. Driving a 1,000 horsepower car around in Fairfax isn't exactly pleasant. So that's when we found our building in West Virginia. So we've been there for a little over 3 years, almost 4 years. And just recently, about 6-8 months ago, we acquired more space next door because we've been rapidly expanding the automotive side and the cutaway side.
That's a big building you have now. How many square feet is that?
So our old building was 12,000, and we just bought 2 5,000 square foot and 1 4,000 square foot building. So we offer storage, trailer storage, race car maintenance. We're just trying to do it all. So we have a full fabrication department, paint, body. We're just trying to keep everything in-house aside from the engines.
Yeah. Now, I guess unlike a lot of shops, you also go to the track with your customers.
Yeah, we really enjoy doing the track support stuff because it's always rewarding to be able to not just build the car and never see it again and just hear stories about it, but to actually go to the track and help make improvements and watch the car do well is just, anyone would love that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I guess I don't know roughly what the count is. You'd probably know better than I. About how many engines have we worked on for you?
Say maybe in the 30s, maybe 40s. We've done a lot. A lot of Dart engines, a lot of 427s. That's, if you ask me what to put in my car, I pretty much have the same answer for everybody. I just sell what works. I know it's proven. I don't like experimenting and doing that. I know this engine works, and I know if there's any problems, you guys can get it fixed right away because you have all the stuff in stock. You don't get that anywhere else.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I think our business model is quite a bit different than most other people in the industry. With us, it's if we're making an engine, it's a known outcome before we start.
Right.
Because we've made a lot of them, and there are variations on the theme depending on the horsepower level as you're stepping up. But we know what it's supposed to be before we start on it.
That's why we call it the peanut butter and jelly is the 427 Dart. It'll make this power, it'll live, it's not going to break, and it's just we just put it in everything. It's like why vary from the path that's already working?
Right. Yeah. And of course we have the inventory, and we have also the CNCs that are able to produce whatever you want. It was funny.
And they always show up to work.
That's a really big thing, don't you think?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, well, that's I think the benefit that you get of working, off a recipe, and we can do custom work, but
In which we do. We do some custom builds here and there, but try not to do too many at once.
Yeah. Well, actually, I think this would be a good point. Hopefully people have an idea of what Cutaway does, and if you're watching this, you probably have an idea of what we do. But I think what would be good is to bring Tim in now, because he's the point person with John on the specific builds that we're working on. Done a lot of them and a lot of variations on the theme. So how about I switch from in front of the camera to behind the camera with Tim.
Oh, how you doing, John?
Good. How we doing? Long time no see.
Yeah, right. So I guess we'll talk a little bit about the specifics, what projects we've been working on this year together. Some LT stuff, LS stuff.
Yep.
Obviously, that's going to be apparent.
Yeah. As much as we've been swapping the LSs into the LT cars, we still love our LT engines to a point. So
yeah, and that's actually been a lot of fun. We've done a lot of re-sleeving of the LT stuff, and getting some 427s sent out to John to put in the customer vehicles, and
they're living.
They're living. That's it. That's the key point.
Our oil filters are clean. They're not full of metal. I mean, it's just the best.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, the less time you have to put into taking them back apart, the better. And I think, we've worked closely together in, hopes of continuing that trend.
Yeah, and we don't vary too far from our path either. So we can put together a good product really quickly.
Yeah, we stick to the recipe. We know what works and what John needs, and we intend to fulfill those for from here on out.
When I have a wild hair up me and I have this crazy idea, I call Tim and he's like, "No, that's a terrible idea," or "Yeah, let's do it. I'm down. Let's start now." We're machining it now. I'll call you back in a second. I'll let you know if that's going to work.
Yeah, exactly. And that's been a pleasure for me and all the guys back at the shop, and we obviously enjoy working on all the odd projects John brings to us.
Some redos, some new dos.
Yeah.
It's been fun.
Yeah, excellent. Well, I think I guess what else do we want to cover?
A lot of CTSVs get a lot in that have engines built elsewhere with lots of issues, and I hate making that call, but I'm like, "Hey Tim, I've got this engine here that we're either going to replace it or you're going to need to fix everything."
And the CTSVs, I guess, are notoriously beat on. It's a car that people enjoy driving. Pedal to the floor, hard
the entire time.
We do take that into account. I think when we fix these engines that you guys bring in, we're able to strengthen them up quite a bit, and in hopes that they'll continue to live for the next guy who's on the floor
with a realistic expectation of making it live.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it's been a pleasure working with John. I think we'll continue to work together, and
we have a lot of cool things coming.
I'm
not going to give too many details on it, but definitely have some cool projects.
So
actually Borowski does our entire cylinder head program. We do a lot of Corvettes, so all of our LS7 heads, LS3s, LT4s, they do all the CNC work, the guides, the valves. I mean, the turnaround time is incredible. It's almost to a point where we wouldn't even need a core exchange. That's how fast the turnaround is. And we've had nothing but success with it. Make crazy power with their CNC program, and it's been awesome.
Yeah, we've done a lot of port development for John, and it works out really well. I mean, the key to it, I guess, is sending us good quality cores. They were able to turn around in pretty record time without, having too much effect on what's already going on at the shop, and we try to get that stuff out quickly. And John's not the only guy we do that for. I mean, there's So if anybody hasn't seen, my personal engine has a T-Rex on the end of the cylinder head. John had other plans. He didn't quite like that design, so we were able to do some private labeling for John. All of his stuff is branded Cutaway Creations, and blocks the cylinder heads kind of across the board. So when people people see their car, they know they've gotten taken care of by John and his crew at Cutaway. What Joe's talking about behind the camera is what we do to all the blocks that come through the shop, and that's being serialized internally and externally. That most people don't know we do, and that's keeping excellent records pretty much from start to finish. The time the stuff has been machined, the day, the person who did the machining, and
clearances, everything's all written down.
Clearances, all of our profilometer readings, everything's kept in good records, which a lot of people, I think, maybe look past, and I think that's where...
huge. I can call Tim from an engine that he built 4 years ago and just give him a 4-digit number, and he can tell me everything down to the profilometer reading of what that engine was doing when it was assembled. And you're not going to get that anywhere else.
Yeah, exactly. And I think all the guys are keeping good records, and we try to do that for everyone, and we do that for everyone, and we'll continue to keep doing that.
We're always accepting new clients. I mean, we do turn down a good bit. We don't like restoring cars that were built somewhere else and that are dumpster fires, but we still take them in sometimes. But yeah, we are always accepting new clients. We're usually a couple months out, pretty much year round. But yeah,
so I
new
guess
facility, we got to fill it up.
Yeah, exactly. So for everybody watching, if you need your car worked on, look no further. John from Cutaway Creations is here to help you with that. And if you need an engine in that car, we're also here.
Yep.
I think that about wraps it up. Thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll see you.
Thank you. You can call our shop at any time. It's 304-724-1199.
Yep, and you know where to reach us. Thank you.
Thanks.